there are 10 very important things that you should be doing on an Iron account, which does not involve questing. The very first one, and these are in no particular order, will have to be training Divination through the Guthixian Cache, in which case I will put a link down in the description as I have a completely separate guide on that. For Divination, you're able to do cache every single hour for the very first 10 minutes. Afterwards, the game ends and will automatically kick you out if you have not completed it by then. And then you're able to get 100 points a game to a maximum of 200 points a day. When you're first starting out, which there's no level requirement, so thankfully, from level 1 to I believe 72, Divination you can get in 14 days if you do this every single day to the max of 200 points. And I highly suggest you do this because it skips so many hours of training Divination as it is extremely slow. The next thing you will want to do will have to be the Circus, which trains magic, range, and agility. If you have done the Penguin quest, you will be able to train Thieving and Fire Making. However, those are not really good. And here you can start at any level. It's suggested to do this for magic and agility. The range experience seems to be pretty bad, as I've created a couple of accounts that test this. But for anything, you will want to go to the ticket vendor and then just click it once to go to. However, to find it, you will need to go to the adventures. Make sure you're on the minigames tab. For minigames D&D list, you want to hit all and scroll all the way until you see the Circus. For here, under more information, it will actually tell you that the ticket vendor is currently located near the Gnome Stronghold, which does change weekly. So if you are watching this, it may be different at the time. And then another fun fact, which I did find odd, is that sometimes the distractions and deviations icon does not appear on the minimap, but it does appear on the world map, in which case just close the world map and open it again. Once you're here, click on the ticket vendor, you'll get a ticket, and immediately north, this will be the magician area where you're able to cast on the stool either alchemy or teleport. Remember, you can only do one of the two options for the east side, as you will only get experience for one attempt at it. If you fail, you can do it again to get the more experience, but I would just move on to the next obstacle. After you have completed each one once, you can go west and you'll be able to quickly cast and get rid of these tree, the shield, the armor, and such. And this gives the most amount of experience. If you go south, you'll notice that there is a target and a Poppin' J. This is for range, which I will say gives the least amount of experience. To train agility, you'll want to go by the tightrope, and you may need to change your camera angle to do the agility changing room. Once you have completed all three, you're able to tear the Circus ticket that is in your inventory. There is also access to Thieving and Fire Making, but I don't bother since it gives terrible experience. On to the next step. Now that we have covered over that Circus, the next one you will want to make your way to the Draenor Lodestone. Go north and enter Death's Hourglass. For here, this one is a combat one, which involves getting a Reaper task. If you have never done this before, you will want to talk to Death and hit option 4, as you will want a gem, Grim Gem. And then just make your way to the War's Retreat teleport. You can right click the gem assignment and he will give you one free assignment a day. However, if you do assignment again, you're able to refresh that for 75% of the Reaper points. You can do it again for 50%, 25%, and then he won't give you any experience and you'll have to wait until the next day to refresh it for free. And then you can go through the Reaper portal. However, keep in mind that for the Chaos Elemental, it does not bring you into the wilderness, so just manually make your way there. And then what's so important about these Reaper points is that if you go back to Death, right click them to claim, well, rewards, you want to go to Unlocks, and here you can spend your Reaper points. I highly suggest you buy the Majroth Aura, Dev Support, and the Instant Cost, although it's not really too important if you're a main account. If you're an Iron, don't bother buying this because we get free instances. As for the items, the Incomplete Hydrix is very important for Amulet of Souls, Ring of Death, Reaper Necklace, and Essence of Finality. Next up will be a 2-in-1, which will have to be melee training. And for this, you will need to actually train mining and smithing beforehand so that you can get armor, which is pretty much the best and easiest way to get upgrades for melee outside of bossing, where, for instance, Kalphite King drops tier 90 dual wield. However, you can smith it and make your own Elder Rune Longsword +5 set, which is almost the same, although it's easier to manage as mining is just pretty much AFK. Doing Kalphite King, you will have to find teams to do that. Just remember, while you are mining, to bring the stone sprites and the best possible ore box that you do have, so you don't have to bank when your inventory is full with only 27 ore. Next up, we'll have to be training Thieving, as it's very important for low levels, as you can get food at the bakery stalls in Catherby Lodestone area, early in-game GP, and then once you have access to safe cracking, it's pretty much about 190k per hour to do this. And once you get unlocked to Brithinius, you can do the elf workers with the 99 Thieving Cape, as it notes all items that will be noted, so you don't have to bang constantly back and forth for when you get these portents, as you do see, along with some dragon bones and a couple other items. Although the Sign of Porters, these are extremely useful for training archaeology. The very next one will have to be the Wicked Hood. For here, you'll make your way to the Berthor Lodestone and run east. From here, talk to Tam. While speaking to him, hit option 1 for yes please, as he will give you the Wicked Hood. The Wicked Hood can be worn and activated from the equipment slot. Hit teleport and then choose air runes. Of course, you can choose whatever runes that you're actually going for, and then you can enter those runes. The only exception is you will need to get the talisman, use the talisman on the Wicked Hood so that he has that teleport option to the Pacific Altar. Afterwards, you can right click it, withdraw essence, and just keep making more. There is one thing to note. I currently only get pure essence. If you show him an Omni talisman, he will instead give you pure essence, in which case you can make law runes and better. Otherwise, the basic rune essence will only work on the essence, like the elemental essence. And after you have created all the runes, you can activate the Wicked Hood again and click on runes, and I always like to choose fire runes. Keep in mind that the amount of essence you're able to withdraw and the runes you get does depend on the amount of wicked pieces you do own, which can be purchased from the Rune Spam shop. Next, you want to make your way to the Arduin lodestone, as we'll be doing player owned farms / ranch. For this, it does depend on your farming level, but don't worry, this is extremely good to train that skill. First off, you will need to do the tutorial, and then in which case you can right click Granny, Farmer's Market, go to Animals / Potions, and you're able to buy chickens, which go in the small pen, sheep that go in the medium pen, and cows that go in the large pen. One more thing to note is they do have a farming level requirement. Eventually, as you get higher your farming, you'll need to get chins in the small, spiders in the medium, or zygomites, although feeding them is going to be a pain. And cows, which eventually go to dragon, which sadly does require, I believe, 92 or 87 farming. So cows are going to be pretty much your best large animal for a very long time, unless you want to kill yaks, which also go in the large pen. And then to just go here, you will need to make sure you feed your animals, because if you don't feed them, when you do check and gather the experience, you will get very, very low experience. As you saw, I just got 32 because I don't feed the animals. And then if, let's say, you want dragons, you don't want to actually keep killing dragons for the eggs, in which case you want to unlock the ability to build the breeding pen and put dragons in there. And then if you do have the farm collector, she will collect the eggs, in which case it will be better over time, because let's say you're on vacation for a week, she'll just collect them over it, because if not, there's only a maximum of 4 slots in the breeding pen. And the same thing goes for a ranch, although for that you will need to do big game hunter, and you will need to hunt the Jadinkos yourself. Next up, most people do hate the skill, as for whatever reason, even though it's super AFK, you have to be the archaeology skill. When you are first starting out, the skill does involve a lot of running back and forth and changing the training spots literally every single level you get. You'll be there probably like 10-15 minutes, then you have to go to the next spot as you did level up. And if you do not have a sign-up porter, you will be banking a lot at the mineral material carts NPCs that are available. So until about 80ish or so, it will be painful running afterwards because the material carts won't be as close. But with the archaeology skill, you get a lot of powerful relics that does help you for combat and skilling. A super good one will have to be the 99 archaeology that gives access to, while you're fishing, your fish will automatically be cooked, so you save time right there. And while you're collecting energy for making divine charges, you will instantly deposit all of the memories into the rift to get energy right there. That's it. So like a full inventory, or even with a muspa, it will only take 1 second, and then you can go back to gathering more memories. For this next one, you will need to have decent combat stats, which magic would be easier, and that would be Elite Dungeon 1 and 3. First off, before you start doing this, you will need to have 2 other people, as it will make it so much easier, so that you're able to just DPS instead of food and mouth the whole situation. For Elite Dungeon 1, you will be token farming, which gives you about 220,000 dungeon tokens per hour, in which case you can go make your way to the dungeoneering teleport spot, shop, and then you can scroll down to buy yourself some chaotic weapons. Keep in mind that I do have the outfit which automatically applies a 7% discount. The chaotic weapons do cost 200k tokens, and since you can get about 230k an hour, you can easily get your first tier 80 weapon, within just 1 hour. For Elite Dungeon 3, it is the best for GP and experience. And you can even do this with a Dragon Halberd, in which case I did that with Bayonet armor, although again, you do take a lot of damage, so you will need to have a good amount of food for that. As for the items, you will need to actually high alch them or dismantle, in which case the option is totally up to you. And the very 10th and final one will have to be Clue Scrolls. The easy Clue Scrolls are the absolute best for an air stuff, which is tier 30. If you do the Scorpion Catch request, you can upgrade it to tier 40, which does provide unlimited air routes. Medium clues honestly aren't too important, as they give ranger boots and the boater hat, which is a requirement for the master clue step. Hard clues are very good, as you can get a Fury key, which bypasses you needing to get an Onyx, the crafting level, and the magic level to enchant it, and so on. And also, while you are doing clues for those good upgrades, you can also buy the clue outfit, clue scrolls, which I do not suggest you do, and skip tickets, which again, do not buy that as well. You pretty much want everything on the signature page. As for the final bonus for watching this whole guide, you will want to train and focus on magic. Training melee is very hard because it requires a lot of preparation, because you have to mine, smith it all, and then you can start working on melee. For magic, once you have the air stuff, you can go all the way up to 60, get the Guthic stuff in the wilderness, kill blue dragons in the wilderness, so I get 75 magic. Once you have 75, you will have access to the Vanquished Staff, although you will need to quest for that, so that's the only painful suggestion I have for you. With that, thank you all so much for watching this, and enjoy the rest of your day.